Hey, howdy, and how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another art video. This one a bit different as usual. Once again, I know you are currently seeing me live. It's actually not live because this is it's afterwards. I was thinking about doing the commentary at the same time, but I was just like, having to wear a headset, dealing with the cable. I don't know if I feel like doing that. Eventually, I might try to find a way to set it up a little bit better, but I just got the camera set up a tad bit better. To be fair, this is more so like, I guess, for whenever I live stream it, which isn't frequent. But if you do want to follow my live stream, probably links down below. I think I put it down there. I posted this on my Twitter whenever, I don't know when this video is going up, but I posted this on my Twitter. Obviously not at a completed stage or at the stage it's at now, but it's sort of like halfway through working on this. So if you've seen that post, you've already seen a bit more work done to this. But if you want to see a bit of the work done to it, now you can, and you'll actually see it go even further because I've done more to it. So doing this is definitely something that I think I want to try to do more. I think this channel to be more, I guess, sort of art based, and then like stream highlights, because I want to just do those a bit more. And I've been considering how to like re-separate my channels, I guess, or how I can what's that one word for allocate content, you know, to their separate ones. And I've been going through it, and I feel like, hey, maybe doing more art on my second channel where I can keep it more loose, where I don't have to worry about, you know, it being a finished project or having a subject strong enough where I can use it for a title to bring in views. So I figured maybe it'd be better if I have like this channel be just kind of mess around art stuff, random art stuff and stream highlights, and maybe a couple of the let's plays still, just because I do still feel like not all of them are gonna fit, right? I've just been thinking about it, and I was like, you know what, let's I guess let's sort of try to start that a tad. And I recorded a bit of me painting for real. I don't know if I think I did one of me painting for real, but that was on a stream. This wasn't me streaming. I was doing absolutely nothing besides just painting this thing. So I mean, I guess I think listening to music and something, which is why you guys don't hear audio, because copyrighted music, can't put that in the video. And maybe I'll talk about that a bit more later, and I'll probably make a video of it discussing like fully on my main channel, not the copyright part, but like separating my content, or just like changing how I'm separating the content, because I think it's gonna be beneficial. More uploads on the main channel, and then like I feel like more interesting uploads over here, so people might actually be interested in coming over here. Not saying that people aren't, it's just like maybe there'd be a slight more appeal than just like other games, you know. But about this painting, I guess what did I use to make it? You know, that's a question I got asked on Twitter. It was all acrylics. I used some water and some acetone. You know, I think there's a little bit of acetone in that spray bottle just to kind of help break down some of the paint, but not too much. It was a very, very little amount. And then, yeah, just water so I could get those. But yeah, nothing too fancy. I just am sticking to acrylic mostly right now. I don't feel like dealing with oils or gouache or watercolors all right now. Maybe eventually, or maybe I'll get like a small set of one of them and have like a different paint setup just for those, because I don't want all my paint just in. I already have so much of it. I feel like I can't take on more, you know. At least that's how I feel. You guys also might be looking at these paintings wondering, hey, why are they so different colors? You might not be wondering that. I actually don't know what you're wondering, which is kind of tough, because, you know, I wanted to answer. I don't have questions about this painting because, you know, I did it all. I know what it is. It's a painting. I put paint on a couple of canvas boards. This is technically 3 canvas boards. You know what? Let's answer that. Why do I use canvas boards over canvas, stretched canvas? What are they called? Panels? These could also be considered panels. Anyways, why do I use boards? Well, when I first started, I just mostly bought boards because I didn't want to commit to like bigger stretch canvases and then have to deal with like these massive canvases that I didn't want to put myself off by starting too big. So I just started off with some boards, and I also looked up that like boards are a bit easier to ship. You don't have to deal with possibly like stretching them and then rolling them up and doing all this stuff to them, which sounds like a headache, and also one of like my, I guess, quote unquote bigger fears of moving into a bigger canvas is, one, having a place for it, and two, when and if I do sell a big canvas like that, I don't know how to deal with that shipment. That seems like a headache. But I started on both of these paintings a bit. I think I started on the one on the right, the sort of weird figure of a whatever it is. I don't even know, to be honest. Probably a couple months ago at this point. I didn't really keep track of them, but I did that with a toothbrush. Most of it with a toothbrush. I think I posted pictures of it elsewhere that you can see it, where it was only done with just kind of coloring in all the, well, the character itself was done with a toothbrush. The background was just done with me and a palette knife kind of scraping around. Although, yeah, there is a character over it and paint trips running down it now. But still, it was fun. It was sort of just one of something I got around to mess around and practice on stuff with. And then having it, you know, get used in this, and I think had a lot of progress done to it. I think it's found a better home, you know, instead of sitting in the corner of my room doing nothing. Because for a long time, I had no idea what to do with it. You know, I sort of put it all together and I was like, well, I don't want to just like paint a face on it because I feel like that's sort of boring. You know, I didn't know what I wanted to do with it that would make it feel like good enough. And I also wasn't too sure if I wanted to add more colors or keep it all like this sort of red blackish color scheme. So I just didn't ever really decide, and it just sat around for a bit. It's also nighttime now. Well, it's actually not nighttime. This was actually just 1 p.m. It was just already dark out. So yeah, that's how it works around here anymore. Welcome to daylight savings, the most dog shit useless thing ever. What was I talking about? Paintings, right. And then the blue one, sort of the same thing. I started it with just 2 colors, but that one more so I just started with 2 colors because that's all I had on my palette. I was like, what do I want to do? You know, I just had some leftovers, like fairly big globs left over, and I didn't want to just like try to keep them hanging around by wetting them and covering them up, or do something like I wanted to paint, but I just did anyways. So I just did that one, kept it mostly blue and white. I think it was phthalo blue. It was a really nice dark saturated blue, very dense in its color. I don't even remember how that one started off. That was one I started, messed around with, did a couple things. I think the sort of eye shapes on it were always there. And then maybe the lips too, because painting lips is kind of fun at times. These were a bit of a struggle. These gave me some hassle just because I think I had so many values bouncing around in like this area that I didn't know how to make the lips. You guys will see how they progressed later on. But yeah, I let the blue one sort of be made. I worked on it here and there whenever I just had some blue left over on my palette or something, and I just felt like doing it. There's really no reasons that I ever work on a certain thing. The main thing is like I do start new ones because I don't feel like working on older things, or I don't know what I want to do to the older things, which is I think is why I have so many, is because like I get different ideas. I'm like, I don't know if I can do that to this one. This one already uses like this idea. And maybe I should combine them a bit more, but I just haven't yet. But I am running lower on canvases, and I haven't sold any yet. I plan on it. Stop asking me. Holy shit, I gotta get a store set up. Fuck. Plus, I also don't want to sell paintings that I don't like feel like are done enough. I'm done with. You know, I still feel like I get ideas on them every once in a while, and sometimes, you know, I just don't explore them, or the ideas aren't quite polished enough to where I want to dive in on them. So both of these sat around for a bit, and it was pretty much this day, maybe a different day, maybe the day before this day, that I decided, you know what, I'm tired of these. I think I was working on the blue one, and I was like, actually, wait a second. I have this other one, and I was like, let's work on these at the same time so I can work with like 3 colors, because it was pretty much black, blue, and red, and then white too. So 4 colors, I guess. But it was these 4 colors. I was like, I could just probably work on these at the same time, bounce between them, depending on which one. And then I set them next to each other. I forgot that the blue one was the same size as the bottom one on that red side. So I was like, oh, great. They just sit right next to each other. And then I sat at them, squeezed next to each other. And because I considered this before when I first made the red and black one, I was like, what if I just have this like another square here that's just a completely different color, you know, but it follows the same thing. This blue one wasn't even meant necessarily for that. It was sort of the idea of like, oh, I should start, you know, and just do an all blue one, but it was going to be like separate. And then whenever I went to work on these just at the same time, but not necessarily, they weren't the same thing. They were 2 separate. They could still technically be 2 separate, although they are a bit stuck together because I painted on them at the same time. But that's besides the point, all right? I guess it's sort of some of the point because I brought it up and made it the point. But yeah, having them and then sort of just like over time doing what I was planning on doing anyways, or at least loosely. I was planning on like having the other blue one sort of match how the red and black one was looking, but it obviously doesn't really. But I did sort of just overlap them in a way, so I think that was a fun way to combine two things that I had no idea what to do with, and now I think are probably one of my favorite things that I've made so far. It's definitely up there, and I think it's just more so because it's just interesting and it's a bit inconvenient. You know, like how do you frame this fucker? I mean, at least, I don't know how, but I'm not a professional framer. I'm sure you could, you know, you just need like a couple frames and put them all together. But yeah, it just essentially combined these out of, I don't know, it was like an old idea that I had that I sort of forgot about, but then once I had them next to each other, I was like, oh wait, I forgot I had this idea. It was a bit different how I was initially thinking, but it still happened, and when I posted on Twitter, people loved it. The more I worked on it, I also still like really enjoyed it like constantly. There was a couple times I was like, uh-oh, did I mess it up? But then I was like, no, because like this is all a mess up, you know? This whole thing has just been me messing around, messing shit up, and just seeing where it goes pretty much. Just, like these two pieces have just been experiment pieces, and now they're experiment pieces, but they're married, you know? How sweet. They even got a ring around their borders, I guess. That's a mouth, but still, I mean, if you had the same mouth as somebody, you'd probably spend your life with them, married or not. Like you guys should definitely get married if you guys don't have other, because like that's a tax benefit, at least in America, so it's like might as well. Anyway, the lips are starting to happen. I went with the red on them. I know that's a ballsy choice. You've never seen red lips before, so I know it's a little bit insane, you know. I'm loco, as they call me. Nowhere. I don't think I've ever been called loco in my life. But I went into the red lips because I was like, I need to bring these more together. I need to just need them to hug a tad bit more, you know? And I fucked up that lip a little bit, which is a bit unfortunate, and things happen. You know, I know I was just talking about how I couldn't mess these up, but I messed it up bad on that one. I didn't even plan on talking about this whole video, but yet here I am so far for talking majority of the episode. You know, obviously there's a natural breaks in there, so I'm sure if you combine all those up, there's probably a couple minutes. Maybe not though. I don't know. I cut out a lot of them because too long of awkward breaks. I feel like, you know, sometimes I break thinking, other times I break thinking with intent. You know what I mean? Sometimes, I guess I always sort of think with intent, but I don't all the time intentionally think. I don't know if that makes sense. And that's okay. But yeah, these paintings, or now I guess this painting, I don't know how, I don't know if it's still one or if it's two. I don't know how I want to classify it. Maybe I should wait for it to tell me how it wants to be classified. I don't really know. But yeah, this has been pretty fun to work on, especially because I've only been bouncing with like a couple colors, like I was saying, so I don't have to get super fancy with my mixing. Most of the time it's mixing either a blue with a black or a white, or a red with a black or a white. Granted, I was bouncing between crimson and like I think just a normal, maybe scarlet red. Oh wait, I have it. It's right next to me. It's a scarlet red, just like I thought. Perfect. And it's coming up closer to where you guys are gonna see it get to the spot as to where it's currently at, how it's sitting next to me right this second. And I guess I just wanted to talk a little bit about why I even got into painting, you know, or how painting's gone so far. I guess I've obviously enjoyed it quite a bit. I've made, I don't know how many now, but you guys have seen it. If you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, you guys have probably seen the fair amount of paintings that I've been doing for really no reason other than the fact that it's just like a nice way to spend my time. I do plan on selling them. You know, everyone has been asking for something, you know, they just want to buy one. So I do plan on selling them eventually. I also have merch coming soon, and hopefully, depending on how that all works out, if I have like enough that I guess maybe I deem ready for sale at the time, we can possibly get some on the site and I can get some shipped out. I don't fully know, and I plan on eventually, but like I just started not even that long ago, painting at least. So I almost feel unready, I guess, to sell it. You know, I never studied, and, you know, I just started out of like boredom in a way. So I still feel unready, and I feel like a lot of the paintings are unready, I guess, to be sold. But that's just how I feel. I'm sure with time I'll get over it. But like I said, I'm still learning a lot of things. I feel like each painting I do, I'm just like, ooh, this is something new that I didn't think about trying before, etc., etc. And I hopefully will never lose that, but hopefully I can like learn to adapt to have that, and also be knowing of a stage, or just know what stage that I feel like I should call it an ends at with a painting. I don't know. we'll get there. But yeah, it's been great. I feel like I've learned quite a bit, both in painting and just how I sort of handle things in general, just like handle certain processes. It's tough to explain. It's just, but like sometimes I do things before thinking about the thing that I actually want to do next. And I feel like in painting, I've been able to slow that down and stop that a bit, where I'm like, okay, like think about the process like before getting too deep into the process. So I always am aware of sort of where I want to take it next. You know, never just be one step behind, I guess, but like be multiple steps behind. So whenever, you know, if you take a couple steps or maybe you take a big leap, you still got some steps to walk and you're not just sitting there super still. I guess that's sort of how I just now thought of it. But we are closing in on the end of this painting. It is getting pretty close to being there, and I might just let it wrap up with the music in the background play out. I feel like I could talk a bit more, but there should be more videos of me painting and hopefully other videos. Like I was saying, I might either make another video talking a bit about how I want to allocate and separate the channel content going forwards. I guess I can talk about it real quick, but pretty much what I was planning. And you guys can let me know your thoughts on this. But for my main channel, I was thinking pretty much all recorded gaming content. So it would be for solo stuff, probably not all the games that you have on here, but I would think Polybridge, Teardown, and then there's probably like random one-off games that I probably would normally put on here that might fit on here. A lot of people have suggested Superliminal. Definitely group gameplays on the main channel, and then if I do any painting or drawing challenges or like portraits of people, then those would also be on the main channel. And then second would be videos like this of sort of me messing around painting, and then stream highlights, and then possibly still some like let's play games that I'm already posting over here that I feel like might not fully fit on the main channel, maybe light grounded. You know, I think grounded would work over there if I was playing with people, but because I do it solo, I might leave it over here. But that also might be something that I use the stream highlights to my benefit, you know, and I play those games on stream, and then I can put them over here. And I'll try to make it so it's not super stream highlighty with annoying notifications popping up and stuff like that. But yeah, this is pretty much wrapping up. Like I said, I'm just gonna let it play out with some song, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to see where it's at, then just stick around a bit longer. Sorry that I spoke for the whole video, but it seems like I had a lot more to say than I thought I did, so it just happened. But I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like the video if you guys want to see more. Let me know if you guys do want to see more as well with a comment, because that's also a better way than just a general like, although a like is still appreciated. I'll see you guys later. I don't want to say peace yet because it's not peace time. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.